Hi, we're going to be talking now about how to do this assignment that I gave you. So I'm going to run through this uh, rather quickly for you, just so that you get a sense of what I'm really talking about. So take couple of your paintings, brush paintings, and turn it over so you cannot see what the other side looks like. And this is so that you won't have to worry about judging or choosing at this point. And just cut your sheet of paper up into some random shapes. They don't have to be, they could all be sort of organic shapes. They don't necessarily have to be straight angles at all. They could be anything you want to be. Just kind of have fun with it. You can even tear the paper if that seemed like a good idea too. You could do that also. So you're just wanting to cut these into sort of bite-sized pieces. No, not too small because then it gets to be too picky. So, but just, like this. This is about a good size, 3-4 inches or whatever, something like that. Okay, so you've got these pieces and you're going to flip them over. And what I'm asking you to do is to take 8 sheets of 8 by 10 pieces of paper. And that's about the size of a printer paper. I wouldn't recommend using printer paper for this because I'm going to ask you to paint on it. And it just is a little flimsy for that, but you could, it really, it just depends on what you want to do, but I'd really recommend using your drawing paper for this. Okay, but I'm just going to use printer paper now so you can see about the size. And what I'd like you to do, and I'm asking you to take 2 or 3 of these, even if you need to, take these elements, and on each piece of paper, each one of these 8 by 10s, take a couple, 2, 3. I don't want you to completely fill the paper. That's why I'm saying just take a few of these elements and kind of put them on, decide where you're going to put them on a piece of paper and then glue them down. What you use for glue is really up to you. It's not that big a deal, but you could use, if you have any gel acrylic medium, that's a great glue. You could use Elmer's glue, you could use Yes glue, you could use, whatever glue you have around, and then just securely glue them down. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this and actually glue mine down and come back in a second. If you're curious about gluing, I just thought I would show you. So see my fingers, you can use a credit card or some kind of stiff piece of cardboard too. Probably should be doing this with my fingers. It's okay. Just trying to get this done quickly and cover the back. Make sure you go right up to the edges because the edges are the ones that really want to curl and it's really annoying. So you just want to make sure you get the edges there and then just put this down on your piece of paper. Again, don't think too much about this. We're working quickly. We're working on lots of these. So whatever if you don't approve of one or the other one, you've always got other ones to play with. So, that's why we always do more than one. Always, always, always more than one of something because it just gets rid of that precious feeling of your work. And you want to not feel precious about it. You want to, cultivate that feeling of depersonalization, depersonalize it so that, you can look at it objectively and not, get obsessed with it. That's the way to sort of avoid getting stuck and, letting that creativity just pour out of you, which is what we want. We want to find that place of, freedom and feeling just like you can let it go. All right, so here we have a piece of paper with two pieces glued onto it. What I'm going to ask you to do now is to respond to the shapes you put down. And what are you going to do with this? What could you do? Well, one thing that I like to do is, especially with these line ones, but yours might not have a lot of lines, but this one does. So what I might decide to do to start with is, sort of see if I can bring these lines together in some kind of fun way. I don't know, play with it that way and see what happens when I kind of join all these sort of random lines. And I'm going to really pay attention to the edges. I don't want to have my design just sort of centered in the middle. I want to make sure that I take care of all the edges as well and think about them as I move forward because it just makes it more interesting. Plus, it's a very common thing to want to center all our work and not just ignore the edges, but we're really thinking about positive and negative shapes all the time. I mean, that's something that we just want to cultivate. Think about, using a whole piece of paper. Okay, so there, I've kind of completed that. And now it seems like, as I did in my earlier one last night to show you, you could use these shapes here to paint, to give us outlines to paint within. Or you could simply go back and respond to the lines you've got with more lines in different colors. Or you could do shades of gray. You make sure to turn this around in different ways to look at it, not just vertically, but sideways. And, as you turn it, it might give you better ideas about how to proceed. So, really have fun with this. Take some leaps. As I said, don't spend more than 15 minutes on each one and just kind of move through them pretty rapidly. Knock them out. Don't think, don't judge, just make it happen. Okay.